just to give clarification,
Like
we don't go based upon skin color, because you're gonna have people that is of this nation that look like the other nations.
And even other nations that look like
because
other nations.
people procreate with different races. All right, so you have people. Let's say if a so-called Japanese man, he gets with a Caucasian woman, and he have a child with that woman.
Right.
When that child comes out, what if that child comes out with more of her features?
Right.
Does it negate the fact that that child is still a so-called Asian?
Okay. So what is your answer to that?
So what I'm saying is, you're gonna have some of our people that's gonna look like the other nations. So we don't base it off of skin color. You're gonna have we're out here for Israelites, but you're gonna have Israelites that look like everybody else.
So I don't want you to take this the wrong way. It might be my misunderstanding then.
Okay.
This sounds very much like the Holocaust in a way, because
We did
you
have a Holocaust.
you
Absolutely
kind of base
did.
it based upon like the fact that the way that they look. And I'm wrong. I might be wrong.
Those were the only people.
He's identifying
That's what-
race.
that's what I'm
No,
saying.
he's going to re-identify race.
He didn't say that. That's not what he just said.
He
And,
said
and
it's
I
12
said,
tribes.
like I said, I might be wrong, but that's my interpretation of what you just said.
It's based off the spirit.
Based off the spirit.
Based off
of those
the spirit.
people.
Okay,
Not about what
so,
not
so,
about skin
so, and
color.
I like that you said that, because if it's based upon spirit, then why does it matter then back again?
Because your spirit still got to go back to those people.
And it's dictated based on color, you're saying.
No,
No, 12 tribes. They're trying to keep going back to these 12 tribes. So like, every time.
You have something?
Actually, I have a whole lot.
Okay, I'm just asking a question.
He's done this
Hold
before, you
on.
guys.
Probably. Let's finish the conversation with this guy.
Okay, I just saw him listening.
No.
Okay.
No,
I'm trying to be respectful.
You are, and you are.
Go ahead. Go ahead with your question.
No, that's all I was saying. So I
Well,
want
this
clarification.
is
on
something
that.
you're confused about too.
No, and I
The
said,
seed,
I
the
said
seed
it's
is
probably
everything.
me
Now,
that's
It's
let
about-
me
it's
break
about
it
the
down.
seed.
The
That's-
seed is everything. You ever watch Maury Povich and all them
Okay,
shows?
yeah.
And they got a woman on there who's looking for the baby's father.
yeah.
What are they looking for exactly? Who fathered that child, right?
Right.
They're looking for the seed. Who fathered that seed, right?
Right.
That's where it goes. You are the seed of your father. Now, for example, when America sent troops over to Vietnam, right? And some of those troops were black men, so-called black men, right? And they fathered children in Vietnam, like Tiger Woods. When Tiger Woods went on TV and denied his father's heritage, that's why he's going through something. Okay, he denied his father.
He tried to
Hold
deny it.
on. Listen, Tiger Woods is a black man. His father is a black man by the name of Earl Woods. His mother is a whole different thing. She's just the ground.
Yeah.
His father is a black man. Tiger Woods is black. It's the seed. Period. It always goes back to the seed. If you plant an orange tree in California or orange tree in Miami, it's still going to come up oranges.
Right.
One might taste a little different. One might have a different skin on it, but it's still going to be an orange from that same seed.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
But I guess I don't understand why it matters.
What? Okay, for
That
example.
part.
Okay, I'm
not trying
asking.
to be-
We're going to give it to you. Hold on, let me give it to you one more time.
I gave you the answer.
truth's sake.
That wasn't
It's just not-
acceptable.
Well,
What
no,
happened
I'm
was
not-
It wasn't acceptable.
Well,
Hold on.
I am
Let me give it to
not.
him this way then. Let me give it to him
Okay,
this way.
I'm
Okay,
listening.
It may not be meant for you to
Okay,
understand.
hold on.
It's just not meant for you to
Hold on,
understand.
I'm going to break it down.
It might be true.
You heard the story of baby Jesus being born, right? So-called baby Jesus being born,
You
right?
mean in December 25th?
Whatever day he was born.
Okay.
He was born as a man, right?
Right.
He had to walk around in skin, right?
Yes.
What color was his skin?
It doesn't matter.
It matters.
It matters to everybody else. that
It's
walks
truth.
the earth.
You got to know the truth. Either he walked around like that,
So
or
look,
he walked around like
what are
this.
you gonna expect when he
Truth
come
makes
back?
all the difference. If you tell lies,
Wait.
if you tell lies to people, those lies are gonna perpetuate throughout
No,
generations.
wait. Tell us what his skin was.
Here we go.
Can I ask you a
Go ahead,
different question?
Hold on,
No,
let's
it's
break
sweet
it
baby
down.
Jesus.
Let's break it down.
Sweet baby Jesus.
Hold on, here we go.
Am I right? He's going to tell us that Jesus is
We're
born.
finna read it.
What I don't want to happen is
I'm gonna start
don't
the
take
first
offense.
Are you,
We're not, man. Here we go.
We understand it.
This is Revelations.
It's not our first rodeo.
No, I know.
You guys
You
just
have
We know
people.
there's
No.
a bull.
I
bull
stopped.
bro,
out
we're
there.
talking right now
You know how
about
to
his
stay away
skin.
from those.
Because they at.
I stopped
questions we don't wanna
because
ask.
I want to perspective.
Okay. Okay, here we go.
So you have to understand that also there's going to be different perspectives.
Absolutely.
And so I'm not trying to.
But
be
there's only
jerk.
one truth.
And I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool. Because you're a mathematician.
And I'm okay with that.
So you know
But
absolutes.
You have to also understand that there's also only another absolute. Because there's also
Is there
absolutes.
something
He's
else?
talking about perspective, but
But
that doesn't-
perspective don't make it true.
Right. Right.
Because 1 and 1 is still 2.
As long as
Wherever
everybody
we go.
can appreciate the fact that I also have.
No, I can't.
And-
Not if
and
you're
I
telling
know
me
that-
1 and 1 is 3.
Right.
Right.
And so that's
No,
where I
you
have a hard
can't.
time. But
Okay,
I'm still
now I'm going to
listening.
tell you.
I'm
Let
still
me say
listening.
this real
I'm
quick.
still
Jesus
listening.
born on.
There's a Hebrew word for truth, and it's Ahmath. That's where the word math comes from.
That's right. That's right.
So that's why
And you
it's
know what?
based in truth.
Okay, fair enough. Good. That was good.
Now you can tell your students.
We will.
The
We
Hebrew
will.
word. Now here we go. Revelations 1 and 1.
Yeah.
The revelations of Jesus Christ, which was given unto him to show his servants things which must shortly come to pass, and he signified it by his angels to his servant John. Now I'm going to go.
So this is the revealing of who the world calls
John the
Jesus Christ.
Baptist,
Verse 2 also.
verse 2, who bear record.
Not John the Baptist.
John the Revelator. John the Revelator.
Apostle John.
John the Revelator, who
Okay.
bear record of the word of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ and of all that he saw.
So who the world
Blessed
called
is
Jesus
he
Christ,
that readeth.
who the world really called Jesus Christ, appeared to John in a vision. And he appeared to him in his glory after he resurrected and he descended back to the heavens
Well, that
after
was
he
in
came
the
back.
spring.
This
You
is
were trying
after
to
the
say
crucifixion.
that he resurrected and spoke to John about
Right.
who he was.
Right.
Yeah.
And what you're trying to say there, though, is that Sweet Baby Jesus is not Caucasian.
It's
Well, we're gonna
what
get
the
there.
We're
Bible's
going to give it to
gonna
you. We're going to tell you.
No, no.
Okay, now we're going to go to verse 13. It's a lot here. We're going to skip down to the point. Revelations 1 and 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man,
That's Jesus, the so-called Jesus Christ. Go ahead.
clothed with a garment down to the foot,
Yeah, the garment.
Yeah, full call.
and the girt about his paps with a golden girdle.
Like the wrestling belts.
Yeah.
His head,
You show that he's
his head and his hairs were white like wool.
Both sides.
Let's do extrapolation
Hold
now.
on, here we go. We're finna break it down.
Yeah, I wanna-
Let's do the process of elimination.
His hairs and his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were a flame of fire.
Now look carefully. Look
Yeah, I see
carefully.
it. I see it.
As it's describing his depiction.
So he said, John the Revelator is talking about the things that he saw.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace. What color is the bronze metal?
Every one of those describes someone of African descent.
Fair enough. And I'm not-
Every one of those. That's what you, right? That's our answer.
So I want to get to the root of this. The root of this. Why are you? What the reason that you're out here is because.
To tell our people to come back to the Lord's statutes and commandments, because
Can
the
I back
United
up for a
States,
second? What are the people?
The people on the side.
people on the
Israelites,
side,
12 tribes.
to
12
stop,
tribes,
to stop
12 tribes
doing
of
wicked, because the United States and part of this world is going to be destroyed by thermonuclear weapons.
Okay.
Because it says
By
it
an
in here too.
apocalypse in the second
It's
coming
gonna,
of
it's gonna
Jesus.
happen. It's prophesied in this book, and to get themselves together, because this is almost over, and that Edomites, which we call so-called white people, are going into slavery according to the Bible,
Yeah.
and that's it.
That's
That's the
general
Genesis.
message.
Makes
And
a lot
get
of
it
sense.
together.
It does. You guys did a
Because
really
we
good
are
job.
gonna be in
I
rulership.
appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
We're gonna be in rulership.
I mean,
Hey, but you East Indian, so even though you didn't make the cut, you ain't on the sign. In
I
the,
still
in,
hope.
in the kingdom of heaven, you ain't gonna get messed up like the
As
white
much.
man.
You are
No,
East
the
Elon.
white man gonna
This
get it the
guy's
worst.
fucked.
This is who you
Yeah,
are.
yeah. If he ain't an
Your
Israelite, yeah,
your
he's-
biblical name is
hey.
Elon,
can I get back? Let me do that again.
and that's in this book.
So, okay, so let's say that he's white, which he is. He's really
Who is his father? Where your father from?
white. She's really white.
You might be on this side.
So then you can, like, let's say I didn't choose that.
No, we
I
just
can
told
go
you we
ahead
can't choose it.
and change the way that convert it or whatever, and that's okay.
To convert? No.
So you're still going to
You have to be
Go back
part
to
of the
Romans 9.
tribe.
Go back to Romans 9. Go back to Romans 9.
so
and 11.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this.
What's
The so-called,
Contradictory to what?
right to the fact that like
They have
don't
choice.
make racist. Like
But
I
God
don't.
is a racist though.
Okay, that is what I wanted to hear.
And another thing,
That's
you
it.
can't convert to being an Israelite.
Okay.
In Israel,
Mind
to
the
be an
way.
Israelite, you have to be up to stop.
Okay.
Right.
That's
You
all I
can't-
was
you
asking.
can't convert to
Right,
So
another
you're saying
nationality.
that God is the racist.
Yes, he chose his people.
Okay,
by
then that
race.
makes a lot of sense.
If you can get Deuteronomy 76, just to back that up in the
Yeah.
scripture.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Or
Because
Deuteronomy.
that makes a lot more sense to
Right.
me. And then it's not contradictory.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
But the lies have been misconstrued, you know, the truth have been misconstrued to tell you,
he might be
that,
on here.
to tell,
He left
to
the
tell,
room. He might be
to
on
tell
here.
you.
He was like totally
And
Spanish.
he's trying to
No, he may be. He said he's Irish, right?
He's Irish.
He may be.
Okay.
I'm just telling you.
Deuteronomy 7:6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power.
And when you look up the word holy, go back to the genesis of the word, it means separate.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The Lord thy God, or power, hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself,
Yep.
above all people
That's racism and favoritism.
that are upon the face of the earth.
Because he's talking about people above and all people upon the face of the earth.
Okay.
Separating
We can
them
go
and
round
putting
and
them
round,
over
right?
you.
We could go round and round.
No, not really.
In my perspective, in your perspective. So that's why it's so cool.
No,
That,
but see, when you say round and round, you saying it like it's another answer.
Right.
It's just like when your students, if you tell them 1 and 1 is 2, you
Right.
can't go round and round with that. That's
That's
so I
it.
agree. But I'm going to go round and round.
But you're gonna be wrong. You
I know.
twisting yourself up.
And so,
It's a waste of time.
so the reason I go round and round and ask questions is so that I can get the truth, right?
Yes.
And so isn't that the purpose of this? Okay. So
But why not just cut to the chase and
To the
just
chase.
get the straight
because I,
skinny?
You're a
because I-
mathematician. You
because
should
I
know
think
go
that
straight
that
to
is
the
the
truth.
easy way, and I think that the easy way is not the best way. You
So
gotta
you want to make it more complicated for yourself?
yes, because I think that so I
Okay,
don't like
here we go.
I don't like to, but I don't like to. But I think that in general, the way that life is, unless you are born this way and then you learn. I don't believe that you guys have always believed this way. I think that you've made a mistake, and you, right? And so that's the way you learn, right?
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying. That's not the easy way, because if you went the easy way, you would have just automatically listened and followed everything.
went the wrong way.
And so that's what I'm talking about. I don't believe in the easy way. I like to be skeptical so that I can learn
Play
from my mistakes.
so-called
right?
devil's advocate to
I'm not really even trying to be, because I think devil's advocate is kind of a jerked off way to go about doing this.
Right.
I'm not trying to be a jerk off. I'm trying. I'm
Just
gonna
trying
be.
to get more in depth.
Yeah, I like this conversation, and that's why I think that you guys are here for conversation. And my impression initially was I think that this contradicts the message. You changed that because
I didn't change it.
You didn't
Right,
change
right,
it. You clarified it.
Okay, yeah.
The fact that God is a racist,
Right.
and I think that something like that.
Do you know what the word racist means? Because there's a new
Can you
speak
tell me,
racist.
please?
It basically means for your race.
Right.
That's it.
And I think that's okay, right?
That's okay.
It's a good
When they
thing.
call Donald Trump a racist, we be like, and?
So,
That is awesome. That makes me feel good because I feel like
Hey,
Everybody
hey,
should be a racist.
Are you going to tell a lion is racist for only dealing with lions?
because I think so. You're telling me that's a sense of pride.
yes, that's all
pride.
it is.
Okay.
That's it. It's nothing
That's
more. It's
very
not the
interesting
negative
perspective.
connotation that's on it now.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
so when
But
some,
that when we,
so
I'm
when
sorry
that
to cut you
asshole,
off.
sorry,
Yeah.
came by and he said that to you guys,
Right.
are you guys like,
Offended by that?
thank you? Then
Yeah, in a sense. But for this reason, for him identifying who he was,
Yeah.
and that we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
okay.
Because he
That
felt
further
it.
proves what we believe in anyway.
Fair enough.
And that he gonna be under our subjection in the kingdom.
Yeah,
So we
he's
just,
the guy who makes-
I got
Hold on,
this.
let's read this.
We got this one for you.
We gotta
Yeah,
go.
okay.
How about this is Romans. This is Paul when he went to Rome, talking to the
Jump to 3. Just jump straight to 3. Don't even want to just jump straight to 3.
what they go to start at 2.
Okay,
No,
go
we
ahead.
need to read the whole
Go ahead,
thing,
go ahead,
bro, so you
go
get a perspective. This is Paul. I say the truth. It's Romans 9 and 1. I say in the truth of Christ, I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, that I have a great heaviness and continued sorrow in my heart, for I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to flesh.
According to the lineage.
Yep.
The seed. Who are Israelites,
Who are Israelites?
to whom
It's the New
pertaineth
Testament, by the way.
to whom pertaineth the adoption.
Now he's describing who the Israelites are.
Okay.
Right? He's who pertained the adoption. Go ahead.
And the glory,
And the glory.
and the covenants,
And the both covenants, the old covenant and the new one. The old one's not done away with. It's just been one thing has been taken out, I would say.
What is it?
Sacrifice.
human sacrifice.
Yeah, we say human sacrifice.
Animal
Animal
sacrifice.
And animal
not human.
sacrifice.
Yeah,
The Lord was the last one.
But now that easy way that we're talking about will happen because of the second covenant. The easy way is how come we got to make all these mistakes, right? But there's a purpose for it that we're not gonna go into. But in the new covenant, he's just gonna put it in our people that we already know what we're supposed to do according to God.
So is that after, like,
That's after
the
all
decimation?
Yes, it's after all of that other stuff.
After the decimation of the people that are not supposed to belong, the people that do belong survive, and then they create that scenario.
So
Is that basically?
so to speak, yeah.
Okay,
It's,
yeah.
Keep it simple. It's a little more intricate than that,
That's
but generally
interesting.
that's it. But to hone it in, the people here in America and certain parts of the world will be destroyed.
So let me ask you something. Was Hitler someone that followed something like this, but he perceived it in a different way?
Hitler knew who we were.
No, hang on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I think so.
Like his perception of the interpretation of the Bible
Right.
was that maybe God was white, and we need to get rid of all these other people.
Maybe I don't study
So-
that because
so that'd be
it has
interesting.
nothing to do with my
When you-
salvation.
when you do-
But that's not a bad
When
angle
you
to
do
look at.
some research on Hitler, Hitler gave an interview in I think it was just before the war ended, and he said that America, before that war got real into hectic, he said that America had stolen the Lord's jewelry, which was us. Hitler knew who we were, and he said when the reporter asked him, I can show it to you.
I don't disagree.
Look it up on YouTube.
She's a history teacher.
Look it up on
Did
YouTube.
he
And then, and what he said when the reporter asked him who was his jewelry, Hitler said the Negro in America. So Hitler knew who we were.
Didn't he also make a statement that about the Jewish people? He said that they took on a swastika religion.
Yeah.
That's what he said about concerning the Jewish people.
Look it up.
And the swastika means what?
Black.
Black.
Because
That's
I've
where
looked
the
that
word
up.
Swartz comes from.
Yeah.
Well,
We gotta
Schwarzenegger?
go.
You know
But
what
you guys are
Schwarzenegger
really
means?
awesome. So thank you.
Black plowman.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really do. I mean, I'm not here to be a jerk. I really hope
No, you
understand
didn't.
that.
You was
Oh,
cool,
you
man.
made it. We answer all
You came
sincere
up
questions.
humble and you
Thank you very much. Right on to you guys.
All right, now. You know, hey, that's Elam. You know, he was real curious. You know, usually the heathens know how to deal
Right.
better than niggas deal, man.
Then our own people. let's say
That was an actual dialogue, man.
I got the article too.
reasonable.
A reasonable dialogue.
Con, I was looking for the article in my phone. I got it right here though.
Yeah, bro, for edification.
Read it out.
It said Hitler said even in his death he will start. It says Hitler said even in his death he will start World War III. One of his soldiers asked how. Hitler replied, "The day mankind finds out what I was trying to defend this nation, Germany, from, then that's the day World War III will start.
Yep.
For on that day, mankind will learn that I was trying to save my nation from the Freemasons, the Illuminati, the Jews. For if the Americans wins the war, then they will conquer the world and
When he
forever."
said Jews there, in spiritual understanding, that's Jewish.
Con.
Not the Jews of Israel, but the people that are taking on the place of the Judites. The Khazars.
Con. For if the Americans win the war, then they will conquer the world and forever be a slave to the Jews, and they will try to conquer God.
Yep.
Do you know?
Hey, and who won the war and what's the history of what's actually going on? Everything he said is also going on. They're trying to conquer everything, even conquer God. They're trying to go into space. They're trying to tell you what gender, what birthday the child can have. They're trying to control everything. Big Brother's watching. They want to put a chip in you and shut you down if they do something not according to your will. So Hitler's right about that. Not to say that we're just followers of Hitler, but when something's true, we gotta give a dap to truth. Like the brother said, whether a black man says it, you know, so-called black man says it, or a so-called white man says it, if it's the truth, it's still the truth.
1 and 1 is 2.
Yep.
It says, for if the Americans win the war, then they will conquer the world and forever be a slave to the Jews, and they will try to conquer God. Do you know who America has in its possession? No, the soldier replied. The Americans have the jewels of God. The Americans have stolen God's precious jewels. What do you mean his precious jewels,
And
the
word
soldier asked.
jewel comes from jewelry, which comes from Judah. Jews. It comes all the same thing.
What do you mean his precious jewels, the soldier asked. Hitler said America has stolen the Jews of God, his jewelry, the Negroes. They are the true Hebrews. What a foolish move and a direct challenge to God. And they plan on moving these false white Jews into a state of Israel.
Basically what he's saying, y'all fucked up.
Right.
And I don't want all my people to get fucked up. But he can't stop the prophecy though.
And he was a so-called Jew himself.
Right.
His name was Adolf Schicklgruber. All right?
He says, what a foolish move and a direct challenge to God. And they plan on moving these false white Jews into a state of Israel.
Yep.
America is...
False, he said it. False white Jew.
Bastard shall dwell in Ashdod.
That's right.
America is desperate in its attempt to win this war using atomic bombs on Japan. America will destroy the whole world in its attempt to conquer it.
Yep.
When America and its Jewish slave masters conquer the world,
That's because, it's not his blessing. The earth is not his blessing. Jacob supplanted him for the blessing, and now it's ours. And he's upset, so he'll destroy himself. He'll kamikaze. The so-called white man will destroy everything on the planet just to stop us from ruling the earth. He'll do that just because he can't get his blessing back.
Jump off the building and when you lose his money.
Yep.
Hey, I got a script on that. Because he think that he could do that, but the Lord said if he could search, if he could measure the whole count each grain of the sand, then I'll do away with Israel. You know? This Deuteronomy, Jeremiah 31 and 36. It says, if those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. Thus saith the Lord, if heaven can be measured and the foundation of the earth searched out, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all they have done, saith the Lord.
That's why they can't go down to Mariana's Trench. That's why they can't find the edge of the galaxy. And they can't look, they trying, but they can't look to see that the earth is round and not flat, you know? Just for a little side joke, but you know, but that's the point. You can't search it out because he ain't gonna do away with Israel.
And that's why they get so happy every time they think they found a new galaxy or a new star. They like, we still searching.
Yep.
We still searching.
Diligent search. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, was that it on that?
Nah, it's
They
more.
gonna count it.
Let me read this right quick, because you said Hitler said that you've stolen the Lord's jewelry, right? This is what the Most High said to Moses about concerning it. Exodus 21 and 16. He that stealeth a man and selleth him, or he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And that's gonna be fulfilled according to the prophecies. You finish up what you was reading, brother.
It says America will destroy the whole world in its attempt to conquer it. When America and its Jewish
Hey,
slaves...
America is attempting to destroy the world.
Yep.
You know, that's why America is all over the place in everybody's affairs.
Yep.
You know, switching out different laws and denouncing the cultures of the other nations and trying to force feed them democracy. You know, trying to push their globalization amongst the rest of the people. And that's why these other nations are mad about America, man, because of their global dominance. That's what this whole battle with Russia is about, man. Russia is standing in the way of America's globalization.
Yep.
So they got to go toe to toe, man.
Hey, just like Hitler was doing, trying to stop the Illuminati from ruling the whole world, that's what Russia's doing now. But if the Most High didn't put the Spirit on these certain men to do that, there would be no flesh left to save, like we were kind of quoting earlier. Everything would be destroyed. He would completely destroy the whole earth.
It says, when America and his Jewish slave masters conquered the world, and the world realized I was right, then all nations will begin to throw a third world war to dethrone America of its rule.
And that's what's happening.
Kind.
That's exactly what's happening, man. That's why you got China, which is allied with Russia. They linking up together. You got the Philippines. They starting to make their presence known in it. Which side that they're joining. Okay. North Korea, Iran, all those different nations are all forming together to come against the beast.
Like the prophecy says.
So Hitler, man, he was speaking some shit, man.
Right. Some truth.
He was speaking the truth. All right.
It says every nation will soon possess atomic bombs of their own.
Yep.
It will be the end of the most of the world as we know it.
That's got to be why they demonize Hitler in American society. You know, because he was speaking the truth against them. So they easily put him up. Think about it. Communism, when you look up communism, what is that? What does communism look? Let's Google it. Somebody just Google it. Communism? Because when you start looking at the meaning of these words, then you get a deeper understanding of what's going on, and nobody can pull the wool, so to speak, over your eyes.
Communism, a political theory derived from Karl Marx, and advocating class war or leading to a society in which all property is publicly owned and each person works and is paid according to their abilities and needs.
Now
we go to the Latin word communis, which basically means common or universal. A social, political, or economic ideology and movement whose ultimate goal is the establishment of a communist society, which is a social economic order structured upon the common ownership of the means of production.
Yep. Basically, I don't know, maybe my mind has got something else wrapped around it, but it looks like what America's doing anyway. To me, if they put you in society and you own the biggest farm, you get paid for that biggest farm, that's what you have the ability to get. That's what you get. The difference was, in ancient Israel, say if I had 15 acres of land and I had oxen and goats and sheep, I was to share that with my neighbors. You know, so they wouldn't starve, so everybody would be all right. Because we were looking out for one another. That's what this so-called white man don't want. He wants us all divided, scrapping, fighting for the scraps, while he keeps heaping it to himself.
And farmers got to pay a certain tax too. You know, here in America,
that's right.
It's like you own the land, but you got to pay a certain tax for your crops.
Yeah, you got to go to him to get your
property tax,
anyway.
all that shit.
Yeah. And here in America, you're not paid according to your ability.
Right.
A basketball player makes more than a doctor.
Right.
When a basketball player don't do shit but dribble a ball.
Yeah.
So but the reason why Esau does that is because he rewards what society deems as the biggest, strongest, and keep them under subjection, so they'll keep the rest of society dreaming.
Classic Willie Lynch tactic. Classic Willie Lynch tactic.
You know?
Kill the biggest slave, the biggest, baddest slave, kill him. The second biggest, baddest slave, beat him nearly to death, and then everybody be like, he killed the biggest one, and then the second biggest, strongest one, he damn near got killed, so we don't have a chance. So that's gonna keep you in order. And that's so evident in our people today.
They look up to people like Lil Wayne. He don't bring nothing to society. If you was to choke in front of Lil Wayne, he gonna look at your ass and die. You gonna die right there. He don't know the Heimlich maneuver. He can't do no CPR. He can't do nothing. His role in society.